Hey, I'm Tim Dudley, a realtor here in the Washington, D.C. area. So, what is your home's worth? Well, the truth about it is your home's value is only indicated by what somebody else will pay for your home. So, that means that the value is only decided by a buyer. Now, as a realtor, my job isn't just to put a number on your property. It's to match your home to the price that the market will bring and position it to get the best results. Now, let's be clear about one thing, and that's the appraisal. So, if you're buying or thinking about refinancing, you will have to get an appraisal for the home. Now, a lot of people think that the appraisal is for the buyer or the homeowner. That's not the case. The appraisal is for the lender. The lender wants to understand the value of your home. So, in the event that you don't pay or you default on your mortgage, what will another buyer pay for your home? The appraisal is there for the lender to make sure that their interests are secured. Now, let's look into Zillow and the Z estimate to see how closely you at home can get a good number about your home's worth. So we have a property here in Clinton, Maryland. Clinton is a suburb that's right out of the Washington, D.C. area. Um, it has a lot of detached properties. Some of the newer construction, you can get some townhomes reasonably priced, um, built, I would say, in the 1900s, late 1900s, and some of the newer construction you get maybe in the 1990s, up to 2025. So we have a property here that just was actually sold for 440,000, and conveniently, the Z estimate, which is right here, is $440,000. Now, the Z estimate home valuation is Zillow estimated market value. It is not an appraisal. Use it as a starting point only to determine a home's value. So, scroll down, you'll see the Z estimate history for the property. And we're going to look at it here. This property was sold for 440,000, but previously the Z estimate was at $400,000 just in December of 2024. $40,000 jump just like that in a market that we're in these days is not normal, and it shows that something is wrong. So I'm going to show you how you can go a little bit further than the Z estimate to determine the property value that a buyer will pay for your property. So let's look at the property. We'll look at a few pictures. It's carpeted stage. I'm not sure if these photos were older or what. Shows it's dated, clean. Um, Looked like it was a well lived in home. Could be due for some upgrades to bring it up to 2025, but it's still a nice property. So let's take it farther than the Z estimate and see if we can't see what buyers would pay for a property just like this. So we'll go and we have Clinton, Maryland in our search bar. That element popped up. So what we want to do is go here and make sure we hit sold. We know our subject property. We can put in bedrooms. We can put three plus bedrooms. I typically don't do bathrooms. It might limit some items that would pop up. Home type, we're only going to select houses. Might be condos in your neighborhood. We still see there's a whole lot of houses. We don't want to have to look through those houses to determine the property value. We really only need 2 to 5 homes to get a good understanding of what properties are selling for and what your property could be valuated right now. And then we're going to go to more, and we're going to really take that list down to get those 2 to 5 properties. And so we'll scroll down here to sold in the last. We would like to do 6 months, 90 days, preferably 90 days. That tells you what's going on right now. So, but for this, we'll do 6 months, and that should take it down some more. And then also, let's put the year built. The reason we want to put the year built in is it's going to take away a lot of different styles of homes. If you have a colonial, traditional, those properties generally were built at a certain time period, and you cannot assess your value against the Rambler or a split level that was built at a different time. So our property is a split level, split foyer, and let's say it was built. We want to look at homes built after 1950 to around maybe 1980 and see if we don't see properties just like ours. So hit apply and let's see what we get. We still got a good amount of items, but let's do this. Let's remove the boundary here and let's draw an area. We don't want to go past big roads if we don't have to. We draw an area around here, around where our subject is, and let's see if we can't find a few good homes that match our subject. Remember, this is our subject property: 4 bedrooms, 3 baths, 1196 square footage. That could seem to be small when we're looking at other properties, which say 2488 square footage. But one thing about this home is the style of the home is a split level, and some of the square footage is below grade. This is where you may need a professional like a realtor to decipher between the property values when things just don't add up. But there are some things that you can do at home. So square footage may look a little tricky, but we want to look for homes just like ours. So this similar, very similar, sold for 476,000. Oh, now we can see why. So we're seeing what it's saying now is buyers will pay maybe $40,000, depending on $40,000 for some upgraded property. This is beautifully redone, and the square footage is way off. Um, but I would say it's very comparable to our property, and it's recently sold also. So we can see buyers may pay about $30,000 if it is recently redone and move-in ready. And so we see here, well, this doesn't look like our subject property. It's really not the same style. It doesn't look like it. Sold for 490. So we'll go down a little bit. This sold exactly for $440,000. So we will want to see similar properties to this because it's so right from where we are at. Similar, very similar to our subject property. So when you're at home and looking at your property, you want to be as truthful and as honest with your property in the condition that it's in when you're doing this. Um, it's not a time to think or to lie about the shoddy upgrades that your cousin may have done that nobody else wants to live in. It's not that time to start to determine what another buyer is going to pay for it and putting your upgraded bathroom as a plus. When you can't find homes just like yours, it's going to be important that you start to talk to a realtor or an appraisal or a real estate professional about what the value of your home could be. Zillow is a great tool for you to do some things at home, but at the end of the day, if you really want to hit it spot on, you need to talk to a professional. So back at our subject home, so if a realtor or somebody had looked at this property and say, hey, it's dated, there haven't been any upgrades, the grass doesn't look good, hey, Mr. Seller, your Zestimate said that your property was worth $400,000. They would have missed a whole lot of value. The reason you get a realtor is because they go further than what Zillow can possibly provide. And they look at the comps and they position your property to exceed or be right where the market is to get the most money for your property. If you want to do something with your home and you believe your home's value is based on some number that you see on the Zestimate, which a lot of times is wrong, and you overprice your home, Well, and you go to list and you go to talk to a realtor like myself, if we even choose to entertain listing your property with you at a higher price, you may end up keeping your home in a market like this. Today's market is not one that you go in high and try to test the market. It takes a trusted real estate professional to determine the right price to present your property so buyers just don't hop over yours and go to another home that's accurately priced. If you're in the DMV area, I'd love to help. I'd love to give you a free home evaluation, and I'll give you a professional opinion on a comparative market analysis of what your home is worth right now. We can actually look at it and review the comps that I pull, and I hope you pull your own comps. Just don't come with a Z estimate, and we can determine the right price that's going to help you and your family make the best decisions that they have to do. If this video was helpful, please like, comment, subscribe. If you want to get in contact with me, my information is below. Leave a comment. I'd love to talk to you. And until next time, see you soon.